Hello and welcome back to the Hat Hazard podcast. There's dogs barking if you can hear, but I like it. As the mayhem, me and Carl, thank you so much for all your feedback. I feel like I'm starting every week with just that, but I'm loving your messages and your comments so much. And Carl was talking about someone had mentioned about the last letter, so the boys getting into the trolley, or the one before that, sorry. And someone had commented on about this is why we're all approaching our 40s and still love Jackass. And we were just talking about that, and I was like, I hope that letter came across in the way it was intended, which is not even to sort of shit on men or make you think I think you're silly, or I sort of am in awe of it, and I think it's something girls could benefit from, is just that aspect, that idea of play for play's sake, just playing and doing something stupid because it gives you joy in the moment. And we were just talking about it, and I was like, do you think it's because actually you guys are so competitive and so sort of can be overly driven and ambitious within your work spheres and your professional contexts? Not that women aren't, but I think men, at least from what I can see and from a lot of the boys that I am in this industry with, there's a real, at the expense of everything else, there's a real pursuit of this thing at the expense of maybe the personal social aspect of their lives. So when these moments arise, like the trolley, that you kind of gung fucking ho. There's I need it. You know how you hear, and my guy friends always talk about this. There's always one guy on the stag who fucking needs it. It's all of you, especially at my age, they're all going away. Most of them are dads, most of them are approaching 40. And there's this there's always one guy who gets it wrong because there's this fucking hunger on it. There's this need to just fucking play and have at it, because it's so worlds away from the world he lives the rest of the time. In a way that listen, I boycotted handus a long time ago, but I don't think girls do that quite so much. I can't remember the last time a mate came back from a hen do with a broken collarbone and her arm in a sling. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a sort of but yeah, we talk about, maybe he was what do you do when you're alone? What if you've got a night off and there's nothing to do and you're not out with your girls and you're by yourself? What do you do? He's like I know what the boys we do. We'll be messaging stupid stuff or playing something or video gaming, and I was like, oh my God, just sit in the quiet, candles on, book out, And he was like, yeah, that's what my girlfriend does. I was like, yeah, it's just... And I can't speak for all women. I just fucking love the quiet. I'm getting worse for it as well. I love the quiet so much. I have to not love it this much, because it's going to be a problem going forward. Actually, this is kind of what I'm talking about this week. Talking about the launch of MILF season. I feel if I say it enough times, it's going to manifest and come true. But before I get onto it... I drove here today and I was reminded how much I fucking loathe teenage girls. And I'm saying this because it was school's out, so all the teenage girls were Donslow Street. I fucking they're just, and I say this knowing I'm going to, God willing, have one in my house at some point, because not in a Fritzl sense, but because Pickles will grow up. And 14, man, I think that's it. I think I've whittled it down to 14 years old for a girl. Straight from the bowels of hell, that year. And I was watching them, I was right, what is it that you actually I'm also aware that I've just said again, I'm watching teenagers, I watched those teenage boys in the trolley. I am moving away, I'm not just stagnant watching teenagers out in the wild, in transit, if you will. Watching these teenage girls all coming out of school with their mates, it's the fucking high drama. That's what I think gets me. That's what I think galls me. And I say this as someone who has been one and absolutely done all this stuff. I'm not sitting here being I was never I must have been unbearable. I think we all were. It's the high drama. Does anyone ever watch Ja'mie Public Schoolgirl? Which is just singularly perfect as a TV show, where it's Chris Lilly doing this impression of Ja'mie, Public Schoolgirl, and there's this one moment where they've been away from each other for one class, one session, and they're oh my God, I missed you so much, and I run back and embrace each other and kiss. And it's just the fucking high drama of all teenage girls. And how important they are and everything is and all their feelings and how valid every thought that rattles around in their head. And I realised this. I think, do you think when you think about like actual moments of drama, like world disasters, natural disasters, terrible things happening around the world, like photographers and journalists never include teenage girls' pictures. Like they're never pictures of like teenage girls. And I think that's because on some level they know that like people looking at it will be like, yeah, I could like lose a couple. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also how fucking unbearable would they be if they made like front page of the Times? Like, you know, there's some 14-year-old who like her pic goes viral, picked up by a lot of the newspapers, and she's like the next day got a TikTok account called like Earthquake Bish 2024. Like TikTok account being like, hey, survived an earthquake, here's the things you should do. I think they're dreadful. Teenage girls, man. Woo! We've had a lovely week this week. In terms of my mum's solo life, we've had a lovely week. We had a first birthday party and we had the joint one with all her little mates, all her little summer baby mates, which was so wonderful. It was just so lovely. And I know we wang on about it, but I do love that gang so much. I feel extremely lucky. And it was nice because all the partners come along, or their fellas come along as well, because we don't get to see them as much. So it was really nice. And they're all brilliant. They're all just brilliant. And far from it being something where I sit there like the only single parent and feel in any way different or isolated. I never do. I never have. Not from the day that first class happened have I ever felt not in any way like other than that. They're just the most brilliant bunch. And I love us all hanging out together. But I just want to like pay a special like mad excellent points to the girl dads. There's very few of the girls in the group. Most of them are boys. There's only 4 girls in the group, and the other 3 girls have obviously dads. And listen. First of all the dads are amazing, but I was like really aware of the girl dads this time, and mainly because I was talking. One of them I've chatted to loads, and we were talking about, he was just saying he was so buoyant and he was talking about, you know, learning how to do, he's getting a grip with how to do her hair and all this. And really, all 3 of them are like, not only but besotted with their little girls, but so hands-on, so active, so involved, and I'm saying this like they shouldn't be. Of course they are. But I do sometimes wonder, I have seen other versions of this where a dad just doesn't quite know how to maybe engage with a little girl from the jump and doesn't kind of know which way to go, or, you know, and works it out as they get older. But from the jump, these 3 have just been so all in and so incredibly engaged and in a beautiful way. I mean, we and this guy, like, and this is what I love about it. This particular dad who I was talking to, by all male standards, couldn't be more alpha. Like, I'm not going to list off, but like his job, where he's from, how he is, like his height, all the stuff that men put a lot of stock by, like, couldn't be more alpha. And it takes you back to that thing of, a secure man doesn't need to prove his masculinity. Like, a secure man doesn't need to prove the man that he's this man. Like, he can sit there, talk to me about like watching Instagram videos about how to do her hair. And I just love it so much. And we were talking about this. He was like, I don't understand it. I don't understand some of the lads I work with, like bitching about having to go home, or it's their turn to do bath time, or it's their turn to do bedtime. I can't believe, like, it's so, and he wasn't saying this to give himself flowers or to make me think he's this like wonder bloke. Like, I know he's a fantastic dad. His wife backs it up, and he doesn't need to. But I said to him, I was like, I love this, but think how much joy this gives you. Think how much this being a girl dad is giving you, and how fully in. I mean, he was talking about, have you seen those Instagram videos or YouTube with these, there's loads of groups now where, I don't know what it's called, but it's like blokes going to the pub en masse, girl dads going to the pub en masse and having like a pint and one of those, you know, the dolls with the heads, so they can all learn how to do girls' hair. And I guess it's important, like, especially for different like races and creeds, like, you know, you understand how girls' hair works, and not like, it's like Grey's Anatomy episode, isn't it, where he's just like sending his daughter in and everyone's like, But we were talking about that, and yeah, he's like, it's so great, and we're having such fun. And I was like, but doesn't it make you think about all the dads that came in generations before you, like the dads of our parents' generation, or the ones above that, who, left to their own devices, would have loved it as much as you, would have loved this stuff, would have loved this like feminine world and learning about that and this little, but it was so not validated, and it was so not made to feel cool or the done thing, or like, quote, a little bit gay. Do you know what I mean? I think back, and I was thinking about it with us, because I have a dad who I'm incredibly close to, and was a brilliant girl dad, is a brilliant girl dad, me and my sister, and then we've got my brother in the middle. And I was thinking about it, I was like, he was so engaged. I mean, Hannah, my best mate, has this theory that actually part of the reason I'm single is that I sort of, no man measures up. There's a sort of, as much as I also pick like fuckheads, there's also another side of this, which is like, am I also picking fuckheads? Because realistically, I know that there's this giant man who looks after me and respects me and thinks I'm brilliant and has loved me so well since I was little. So there's an argument. This is not a warning cry for all the girl dads, by the way. Like, if you love her too much, you'll be single forever. But still, with my dad, we played sport. You know, we didn't get down on the floor and like play Barbies or Sylvanians together. I don't think he would have done that. I wonder if he wanted to. I have to ask him. But it was sport. And even with Pickles, he walks in. She loves him so much. But he walks in, she immediately goes, ball, 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 and grabs the football, and they play with football. It's like, I mean, I love that as well. The fact that there is no distinction between how he's raised his boys and his girls in terms of sport and the activity side of things. But yeah, I just loved these three men, like, just adoring raising little girls and the engagement in it, and the ease with which they engaged, I think was what I just loved. And I don't sit there being like, sorry, what I was saying was, I don't sit there feeling like, oh, I wish we had, like, feeling like the odd one out. It, if anything, it sort of proves my point more, which is, when you are bringing little people up, whether it's a boy or a girl, the idea of having someone next to you who's such a team player and is so wonderful and is so someone you can trust to lead an example and to only infuse your child with like love and acceptance and respect and joy, then I wouldn't want to do it. And I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had an ex who I would have trusted to do that in the way that these women can obviously trust their fellas to. So it's the opposite. I sort of look at it and I go, no, until I'm with someone who's like that excellent and this brilliant at being a dad and this fully joyously engaged, then like, no, I'm grand. I will just wait. I will just wait. And that's cool, because the examples here, and it would be, I don't want to be that girl, kind of going back to the episode I did a few months ago. I don't want to be that girl who brings some like really smoking hot babe, but like absolute fuckhead into the field. And all the other dads are like, yeah, that guy. Like, you don't want to be the shitty +1 gal. You don't want to be the shitty +1 gal. My guest today, sorry, this is a real segue from shitty +1 to my guest. My guest today couldn't be more not that. She's my, one of my best women in the world. She was, when I first moved to Liverpool, it's me, her and Kay, who you've met, who this band, she's the other Scouse female comedian up here who the three of us are in a three-way love affair. And I'm so lucky that she was also a single mother. So ever since I got pregnant, she's just been she's incredible. She's the most loving, kind, generous, excellent human anyway. But for me especially, there's just been this touchstone of someone I can talk to and ask about stuff and check in with stuff. And I was talking to her more recently, and it's kind of the conversation we're going to have today about like the sort of getting back out there, like the being the single aspect of single mum. Because obviously at the beginning, like it's not even a conversation. It's not even but she's a year now and you're like, oh, and actually my mate at brunch today asked me, she's like, are you like ready? Are you go? And I was like, God, I think I am ready to like have a crush again, because they're just so fun, aren't they? Crushes are just so fun. But I obviously am not going to do the apps because they want me might want to curl up and die. And any excitement I ever have about meeting someone is so quickly quashed by about like 10 minutes on one of those apps that it's actually it's actually counter. What's the word I'm looking for? Am I going mad? Not counterintuitive, but I think that's what I mean, which is it does the complete opposite of what I think it's meant to do. I'm so far from excited about meeting anyone because of those apps. But there's the extra thing of like, I mean, I didn't have a very good threshold for boring people in the best of times. Now, if I was sat opposite someone who was in any way dull, I'd be like, you're eating into my like sitting at home with a book time, my quiet time, because she's, whatever happens, Lord knows she's going to wake up when she wakes up. So also, I also should say, I probably, even when I start, you know, being poon deep in athletes manifest, I probably won't talk about it on the pod, just because, again, I'm very aware that she is a human who exists, and I'd rather that the ins and outs of my sex life weren't, or lack thereof, weren't out on the internet, immortalised forever, just because, you know, the internet's not going anywhere, and at some point she will enter the internet, and I probably won't. Just as a heads up, I probably won't talk about it. But I will right now because it's a hypothetical. And so, yeah, I think I've realised this is the next bit now. This is the next bit, is being back out there. Like if someone asked me out, there's not that sort of, oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm breastfeeding. Please don't even please don't think to ever message me again about that. but I that is something that I've now got to start thinking about. And it's so funny. It's all on Instagram. It's that thing of like the single mother time, like the time we have, and being like, yes, I can meet you at 6:15 until 7:49. But I think there will be a bit of that, because between comedy and her, obviously, I just don't know what I want in that realm. I don't know what I want, because there's a part of me that's like, do you just pick someone who like doesn't have a last name and lives in a hotel room, or do you pick someone who you're so comfortable and great with, who's such a brilliant person, who you respect, who you see a long-term future with, and then you're like, oh God, Jesus fuck, like I don't really have the bandwidth for that, I don't think. And then it becomes a whole thing of like her. Anyway, I'm waffling, but all that to say, this is now my next hurdle, is that. And Olivia Wilde has been doing the podcast circuit recently because she's promoting her new film. I don't know if any of you have seen it. She's done a bunch of pod interviews, and she was talking about like the sexualization of mothers and how sort of unfair all that side of things is. Sorry, I'm just gonna move my pillow. She was talking about it in relation to when she and Jason Sudeikis broke up, and was saying there was a Thanksgiving shortly thereafter where she had their kids. It was her turn. She was with them at Thanksgiving, and he was off like cavorting in the ocean with his new girlfriend. And like the way it got reported was like, good on Jason, good for him, like with this nice woman, woohoo, go him. And she was like, can you imagine if I had been like frolicking in the waves with a handsome, lovely man on Thanksgiving away from my children? It's like, can you fucking imagine like the absolute fallout? And I thought about it with Sophie Turner as well, how much shit she got when they're like, where are your kids? Like she posted one night out. She was like, with the fucking babysitter. Like, but Olivia Wilde was talking about it in the way of people really don't like mums to be sexualized. And she was talking with kind of mainstream press, but to revel in it, I think you've heard it. That's what I say that I'm probably, like I said, not going to talk about on this pod, but I'm wondering if part of the issue of me seeing myself in like a sexual capacity again is also a bit of the sort of, I've grown up in a world where we're taught to sort of not. I mean, do you remember when Madonna, like, listen, I'm not going to use Madonna as an example because there was that one time, like, I'm all for the sexualized, like, fine, girl, get you, like, be confident, fucking get your sexual power back. I absolutely love that. But do you remember then she did that photo shoot a little while ago when it basically looked like she'd been sex trafficked and like stuck under a bed, like in Taken, but she was obviously a bit older, like that awful. It was like a boudoir shoot. And she just looked like she'd got like stuck under the bed and she was putting it together. And she'd been caught out and she was in a stocking. And you were like, it has to stop, Madonna. There's such a thing as like, maybe you can be sexy in clothes, not wedged under the bed, I think. I maybe don't want my child to see me wedged under a bed in my corset and stockings, like reveling in my sexuality. But I think there's a version where you want to feel desirable about yourself. You want to feel desirable. You want to be made, you want to be treated as a desirable entity. But at the same time, I don't know if I feel a bit embarrassed, being like, oh, who does she think she, like, my body's different. I'm different. Everything about me is different. Not everything, I hope, but so it's like re-engaging with that version of yourself that you're like, oh, but she's not here anymore. She cannot come to the phone right now. She's singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for the 17th time in a row and reading a book that's just going to make her fucking kill herself and throw herself out the window. So I think it's that. I think that's the bit I'm really interested in, is how to access that feeling of being desirable when you don't want to look like you're, I keep using the Harper Valley PTA mum. You know that song? There's a song, Harper Valley PTA, like the single mum who rocks up in her like little skirt and her high heels, and you're like, fucking bitch, get it. There's part of me that's like, no, I want to be that mum. There's part of me that's like, no, I'm going to be that mum. And then you're like, realistically, you're absolutely not, because you can't even be bothered to straighten your hair in the morning. So you probably won't. But I don't know what it is. I want to know what that ground is. We should find out. I don't know. Look at my mates who are mums. I think they're all ferociously sexy. I know they've struggled with getting back into that headspace, but like, they're fucking bangers. Maybe it just comes. Does it just turn up one day? You wake up and you're like, oh, hell yeah. Like the right song comes on in the car and you're like, fuck yeah, she's ready. But maybe Elmo's song isn't where my mojo lies. Maybe that's my issue. Who knows? For those of you who probably knew the guest I was referring to, it is, of course, Katie Tracey, one of my absolute favourites in the whole world. Carl last week was like, because we had Kay on, and he was like, you're so relaxed. It's like, I was like, yes, that's why I'm bringing only my favourite people on for the first little while.
People. That's my one Missy Elliott reference.
Fantastic.
That's all you're getting.
That's why I brought you on. It's for the Missy Elliott content. But yeah, it's just, thank you so much for coming on. I loved it very much.
I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
We had our first wedding together, didn't we, on Sunday?
It was beautiful.
Took Pickles.
Me, you and Pickles.
Introduced her to a dance floor.
The girl will rave.
Can't believe it.
You've
had a dancing
balloon.
No, she's gonna be
she
one of those.
She had bare hands in the air.
So and she just did not care. Did not care. Those pom bears, fuck me. She cracked out on those.
We were in a social club, and obviously the wedding was in the hall bit of the social club where weddings are. Oh no, Pickles wanted to go in the bar.
Yeah.
Where the dartboard and the pool table was.
Yeah. Oh.
And everything was dark green.
Yeah. And the photo booth.
The photo booth.
Which I think was not a coincidence. No, I've said in the lead up to this episode how lucky I was that when I decided to be a single mother, I had you in my very close village that I could talk to about stuff. And do you just want to...
wise.
You are so wise.
Beyond years.
You're so wise.
So wise. Namaste, everybody.
My little grasshopper, my little single mother grasshopper. Hello. Do you want to just say for the record, just so people, why, in the context in which you became a single mother?
So my son was about 3 and we were running a pub. We were really young to be running a pub, and it just got too much. Like running a pub, it was like a 24-hour day job, and the stress just got too much for us. So I just was like, see ya. Yeah. This is not a good environment to bring up a 3-year-old in. So
and did you and you, obviously you and like the dad are still like great mates and get on and it's all good and he's in his son's life, etc.
Yeah, we get on fine.
Yeah.
I mean, time is a great healer.
Yes.
Isn't it?
I've heard this.
Things that piss you off after 1 year.
Yeah.
Like 31 years down the line, you're just like,
yeah,
who cares?
And also, do you have that moment like at the end of, do you ever see The Theory of Everything, the Stephen Hawking's movie?
Yeah.
I appreciate that neither of you are in a wheelchair and there is a method to this.
Sometimes I do operate a computer with my mouth.
No, I know. I've seen it. It's blissful.
It's so much easier.
But there's that thing where like they both sit there and they're like, look what we made.
Yeah.
Do you have those moments where you're like, fuck, he's so great?
I think we're not that. It's not that deep with us.
Sure. You're not going to sit there and like, yeah.
We're not like going, wow, we created
We
the
did
super race, guys.
Which you did. I
know.
mean, your grandson is perfect. Like Hitler Youth, babe. They would have gone ballistic for your grandson. Oh,
he would have been doing the 100 meters in like 1946.
Oh Lord,
swear down. Yeah, he would have been high up in the SS.
Yeah, he's still he's my favorite. My favorite with 4-year-olds.
He's just got back from 10 days in Turkey, and he looks like we found him on a desert island.
Is he so tanned?
He's dead tanned. His hair is white, and he's grown about a foot.
Yeah, because he is with the sun of the sea. Yeah, like a flower. Oh, he's heaven.
I know. But no, like me and his dad, we're sound.
Yeah.
Like we do have big family things all together. There's no there's never any shade.
Yeah.
It's he's got a family now himself.
Yeah.
With, like my son's got half brother and half. Well, I hate that half thing because
he feels like of course.
And yeah, it's all good. It took a while to get there, but it's all good.
Did you then when compared to you were 3 years not as a single parent and then the rest as, was there a moment where when it immediately when it happened in the immediate aftermath of it happening where you found it extremely hard, or actually did it get quite like better quite quickly?
I've been asked this before. I've had a conversation at a party years ago with another single mum.
Yeah.
And she was like, I mean, it's just so hard, isn't it? It's just so hard. I mean, it's just like every single day there's something. And I was like, I'm going to sound like a really, like really, what's the word?
Those like smug. I know,
like
those smug
bitch,
like pull the ladder
but
up
like,
women. Yeah.
I've never found it hard. It's tiring.
Yeah.
But being tired and it being hard are two completely different things.
I totally agree.
You can be tired and tired. Being tired is hard, but being a parent or a single, it's not hard. It's a laugh.
This is why I feel like, and we've talked about this obviously loads. I feel so lucky. I think I like sidled up to you quite early on. I was like, Katie, I have a sneaking suspicion single parenting is easier than not single parenting.
You've got no one to have to compromise with.
This is the bit, and again, I know my friends in like brilliant relationships and they're still with the baby daddy and they're in a loving couple, etc. And that's lovely. There's still compromises. And they're with a great guy. They're in a great partnership. But it's
nice to have support. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I'm not throwing shade on couples who are together and make it work. That's absolutely lovely for them.
Yeah.
I just found that when you're in a relationship, especially when you're younger and you're a little bit more immature, you feel like you've got to really manage the relationship as well as being a parent.
Totally.
It's like two completely separate jobs that take up all your time. So when you take the management of a relationship out of it, it's like, wow, this is sound actually.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I think that, and we talk about it all the time, and rightly so, about like relationships are work, marriages are work, and they are, and I respect that. That's why I respect couples massively who are putting in the work. But when you've just had a baby, when you've got a little person, you're like, I don't have it. The bandwidth, nil. No. That's not. I actually thought the other day, because obviously I love her so much, but I will say my favorite time of day when she goes to sleep. It's my favorite.
Yeah, because you need to reset.
But imagine if I like put her down, walk back into the living room, and there's someone there who wants to converse or ask me what's for dinner or tell me what we're having for dinner. I was like, I can't tell you how much silence is just
being able to decompress. And also I'm older, so I'm from a generation where dads just weren't as hands-on. Like they were more hands-on than their predecessors. But they still weren't like doing the lion's share of the work. Of course. Like I always remember my friend saying, and her baby was tiny, and she went, he'll just go, I'm going the match, and go out at 12 o'clock on a Saturday and get in at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, which is absolutely fine, by the way. Yeah. But if I wanted to do the same thing, I would have to arrange babysitters, make sure there was plenty of changes of clothes, make sure there was food prepared,
post-its
make sure everything, like planning a military operation where he just goes, see you later. Yeah. And like, that was the difference. And I think now, when I see like my son and other lads his age or of his,
generation,
peer group, how much they do, and how it's to them it's a privilege to be able to do it, and I really love watching that. Yeah,
and I think actually my generation, it's a really funny one because I'm a little bit older than your son, but it's my mates, it's a really funny mix because there are some of my mates who are definitely more traditional and do expect to do the lion's share and do expect to do that and aren't looking to the fellas for what. But then there are some who are, and rightly, they're like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing the praising him for having his kids for the weekend. Like,
no,
I'm not doing
and it's that one where they go, oh, is your fella minding the baby?
Yeah.
He's not babysitting his own kids. That's not what babysitting is.
No, he's not.
No.
Do you mean parenting? Do you mean raising his child? And like you said, can just leave the house, not post it the place and stick things to the door. Yeah.
That's just something, that's not something they're doing that's bad on them. That's just something that they've grown up expecting it's okay to do it. Their fathers did it, their uncles did it, whatever, the men in their life did it, and nobody ever went, hang on a minute, you're going to leave me here all day? What am I meant to do, kind of thing. But like now everyone's got a bigger village because I think a lot of grandparents are younger than our grandparents were, and they've got a lot more time and health and energy on their side, so you have got that little bit, if you're lucky enough, you have got that bit of support. But no, I loved being a single mum. If I'd have known how much of a laugh being a mum was, because when you grow up, when you're in school and college and they're like, you get with a lad, be careful, you don't want any babies. Nobody ever said one day you'll have a baby and it'll be the best thing that ever happens to you. Nobody said that to me when I was young. Nobody said being a mum is just the most fun you will ever have. Yeah. Because people were always trying to discourage us from that mindset.
Yeah, ruin your life, ruin your life, ruin your life, ruin your life. Yeah.
It didn't ruin my life. It made my life a billion times better.
It's a funny thing now because I know the world we're in, like, there's so many more conversations about the women who are, and by the way, when we talk like this, we're not discounting the women who have like awful times and things happen to them at the birth and the postpartum mental health, issues. That's a completely separate entity. But there is so much conversation about like, no one talks how awful, like all the Instagram accounts about like, how awful this is, how I look. And I think it's really cool that we get to have those conversations, especially in the trenches, especially when you hit those moments where you're like, this is fucking horrific. This is horrendous. And to have those people being like, yeah, babe, it is. But sometimes I do watch those and I'm like, we've lost the other side.
Yeah,
which is
it's
being
good
like,
to have balance. And there was never any balance when I grew up. It was always oh, she had a terrible time. Yeah. Oh, never have kids. Oh God, no, you'd have kids, only have one. It was always really like a cautionary tale against childbirth. And whilst it can be, that for some people, it's also not like that for some people.
But I think also, if you consider all that advice is coming out from a generation whose breakup statistics were what they were, like exactly what you said, actually sometimes what the awful part is the deterioration of your like quote family life at the same time as raising a baby. I think it must be exhausting. I think that's so often, especially with the kind of men I actually go for. I'm like, for absolute sure we'd be having a nightmare time right now. And
but I absolutely never thought we would stay together anyway.
Really?
From the day we got together.
Yeah.
I was like, this won't last.
Yeah.
And I was at peace with that.
Yeah.
Because I was young.
Yeah.
And then when I got pregnant, I was like, well, I never ever planned on having kids. That was never my thing. But then this happened and I was like, what if this baby grows up to be like the leader of the free world? What if he's like the first man in space? What if he wins Wimbledon one day? It was just all stupid stuff that like
you're like, well, I can't get rid of it now.
I was like,
this
could be the second coming. Jesus. And I'm pro-choice, absolutely pro-choice. But I was just like in a position where I was like, it won't be the end of my life if it happens.
But it's exactly that. It's the choice in the moment. I had two girlfriends at university, both got pregnant in final year. One of them had been with her fella for years and was like, absolutely not a fucking chance. Nope, out, done.
And we're so lucky that we've got those choices available.
Totally that. And then I had one girlfriend who wasn't even with the fella, and she was like, exactly like you. She was like, I know this isn't the like quote ideal circumstance, but I cannot. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do.
I'm like a genetically laid back person though.
Yeah, you are great.
So
for
I
that.
was just sort of like, okay, let's this is a new adventure. Let's go with it. Sort of thing. I was never like,
Yeah, I bet.
Apart from when I was 9 months pregnant and going, this is going to really fucking hit.
Yeah, this is,
Oh no.
Yeah, have I really spoken to my fanny about what's about to happen? Have I really given her the...
Are you okay?
Babe, quick chat. This is, okay, me and Katie, when I asked her to come on, I was like, look, I'll talk to you about like the getting back out there as single mums. I was like, we don't have to go into our sex lives. And you said, what I want this episode to be called was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to talk about how many holes, how many many times. It's like,
Oh, we'd be here all night.
Katie, I'd like you to come on and just list off how many men between the two.
Luckily enough, let's get the graph out. Let's get the pie chart. Literal pie chart.
PowerPoint. Where are they now?
Katie's pie chart. Katie's pie hole chart. We haven't got that, but it's in development with EA
Actually, if you sign up to be a Patreon, we'll send it you in the post.
you can buy the PlayStation 5 game of it.
I think the bit I've got, and I'm trying to word it, and I don't think we've even spoken about this. I am trying to work out the sort of like the game plan on this, which is either in wanting to get back out there and like enjoying the single aspect of single mumming,
the company of
a gentleman stranger. Do I want someone who
have always relied on the kindness of strangers.
And my God, have I? Very, very like negotiable on the kindness. Do I want someone who I like couldn't give a flying fuck about and who just like lives in a hotel room and I never know anything about him? But then the other part of me is like, and this is going to sound pathetic, and you might, part of me is like, but I feel a little bit more like, I don't know, my body's changed. She's changed. And I feel a little bit like there's like a first time back. And I want to feel comfortable and like safe and okay.
Once you've done that first time, see, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that, like when you're saying, what's my game plan for getting back out there? Don't have one.
Yeah. No.
Like, don't have one. Don't have this perception that it might be easy to just get with someone casually or you should be in love with yourself more than you ever have before. You've done an amazing thing. And if you start talking to somebody, you'll know if there's chemistry there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really try and over plan it.
Yeah, that's my toxic trait, is to try and over control.
Yeah.
But Kate, do you think that will say, I've had a really, really bad 2 weeks for this, and I've actually like called myself out on it. And Roche, who you met, Pickles' godmother, was up a few days ago, and we went for a drink, and she knows me obviously inside out, back to front. I was like, I have a bad trait, which is to over control, and I'm being really punishing of myself and other people, but it's coming from an over controlling thing. And I think having been so chill and so relaxed during the pregnancy, because I made myself, I was like, you've got to start getting your head around this. As a single parent, there is a tendency where you can like over control because you're so in control.
But there's also a tendency to go, well, there are certain aspects of being a single parent I'll never control, and you just will be, at one point you will just be at peace with that.
Yeah.
And it might be good to level your head out, to go, well, you can control the things you can control, and there are things that you can't. But meeting someone and liking them and having chemistry with it, that's not something anybody can control.
I know.
So try not to do that.
I think my worry is that the people I have that with, historically, have maybe not been the people who should probably visit my child.
Yeah, but then there was no consequences of being with someone like that.
Yeah.
You're in a different headspace now. There is consequences.
Yeah.
The minute someone starts acting like a dickhead with it, you'll just go, bye. No. Not for me.
Yeah.
I've got other responsibilities that are my priority.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let some dickhead mess with my head when I've got bigger fish to fry. Do you know what I mean? Be with me, be nice, or do one. Literally.
Yeah.
I've always been lucky. The lads I went out with, and it was a while before I ever introduced them to my son. But they were all good, decent lads, and I would never have brought them into our life if they hadn't been. There were lads who might have seen each other a couple of times casually. I was never going to bring them into my life. No. That was never going to happen.
Yeah.
This sounds like there was loads of lads, by the way.
No. I know.
It actually wasn't.
I know there were.
And this is over the course of like 25 years.
Well, exactly, yeah.
But literally, just don't bring anybody home that you're not sure about.
Did you want to meet people, or was there a part of you that was like, I'm so unfussed, like fucks given, left the building in terms of a partner?
Never really occurred to me that I wanted to meet people, but I never found it hard to meet people.
Yeah, well, obviously.
There's people out there. It's so different now though, because you've got people online and people who have a profile and pretend to be one thing and they're an absolute other thing. So, but I think it comes with its own set of considerations, I guess. All I would say is don't have a plan to get yourself back out there.
That's right.
It's just now that your support network's nearby, there will be more opportunity to go.
Yeah.
Well, I will go out and I will go out for a little
and also
cocktail
the fact
or
that
whatever
she's
and
like,
converse with people and just do it organically.
Yeah.
There's no real pressure to.
I know. Do you know what it was? I was thinking about it today.
Or, go on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Recruit. Carefully recruit. Select the best candidates for the job.
Message their past managers and be like, how diligent was this person?
What was their absence like? What was the timekeeping like?
Sick days.
Did they write their initials on their own milk?
This.
Fuck them off.
Fuck them right off. It's going to be the thing that you snap and kill over. Is someone permanent mark. Do you want to tell the class what Katie Tracey's going to snap and kill over?
Oh God!
Is it permanent marker on a coffee mug?
People who go to the toilet and have washed their hands and then sit at the desk. I'm going to put my hands in front of my mic here, so I'm just going to push my mic away and do this with hand sanitizer. For like 5 fucking minutes or longer. That will be my breaking down moment where I'll kill everyone.
Yeah.
I'll kill again.
Do you think they're still on COVID hours? Or do you think they just want you to know?
Like, I'm happy for them not to sanitize.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Be sanitized.
Be sanitized.
Do it away from my earshot, please.
Do you know what? I once slept with a guy quite a few times. Should be careful on this. When I was out in the States, who had really bad OCD cleanliness, like really, really bad germ things, like very bad. Not just like he was a clean boy, like deeply bad. To the point like we had to Lysol, which is like their like Mr. Muscle. I had to like Lysol or like Antibac. I had to Lysol everything I touched after the act. As soon as we finished, that was when obviously the danger began. So everything that I was about to touch, whether it was putting my glasses on my face, whether it was like putting my hand on the bedside table to get out of bed, I had to have like Lysol cleaning up.
Fuck it. No, because if he's that bad with his OCD about cleanliness, how did you get him to touch?
I know. Well, that was what was insane. It's going to be clean, Katie.
He's touching it. You go, wee comes out of there. Like, are you okay? Do you want to go?
No. All during the act was absolutely fine. It was after.
To have sex in like hazmat suits?
No, I know. I asked it. But that was what was so odd. I expected it to be like a glory hole situation because obviously.
You were hoping it would be a dirty cow.
Where he was like, I had to Lysol the cat once. Lysol the cat. Got a Lysol wipe. Lysol the cat.
No, because he's lying. He hasn't got OCD about cleanliness if he's got a cat because they're the filthiest creatures.
No, you're absolutely right.
That ever existed.
Yeah. No, so that was mine.
They go out in the middle of the night, lick other cats' bumholes, come home and lick your face to wake you up.
Nothing's happened. I know. They're disgusting.
Oh.
No, you're absolutely right.
How long did that last?
No, not long, obviously. But he was in that time in my life where like the boys had numbers. Like it was like there were a few of them that had the same name, so I'd be like so and so 1, so and so 2, like that time of my life, like the good time,
like me, like all the lads I went out with,
exactly, like all of them, just numbered them off.
Stephen 1, Stephen 2,
yeah. You just need sometimes it's just what you have to do. You have to.
And I could have done Stephen with a V and Stephen with a PH, but it's just easier.
It's just too long. It's just too long. But I was thinking about the last guy. Wait, so because I think of how I'm feeling about my body, which is like fine, I'm getting better, but it is just different. Like it's just different. I'm different, and it's not the body I recognise yet. And I know it's like getting there and it's a work, but it's just not the body I recognise yet.
But don't you feel like you should? You feel like you've got to apologise that you're vain about it. You don't have to be vain.
Yeah.
You want to.
Yeah.
Everyone, you've so much pressure to like snap back. Good luck to them women.
Good luck to them women.
Abby Clancy, I think she's an alien. Nobody can look as outstanding as she can.
I know.
That's just amazing genetics.
I know.
But the rest of us just have to.
Do you know what I think it was? The thing I thought I had it for a minute. Like I thought I had done it. I thought I'd snapped the back, and then I was like, you haven't. No, you haven't. Actually, what's happened now is you've just stopped going to the gym and you've just continued having the calories that you had while you're breastfeeding, which I love because obviously a lot of that is cake.
So much access to cake when you've got a kid.
So much access to cake. People just keep bringing you cake, and then she had a birthday, and there was more cake, and it was just fuck it. But I was thinking about this. So a guy I was with when I first got up north, moved to the north, and I was in the shape of my life. Like I knew I was in the shape of my life. I was loving getting naked. I was loving getting my clothes off. I was like, girls in the shape of her life, and we're just going to enjoy this while it happens. That time in your life,
it's such a special time.
Such a special time. No one talks about that.
No.
Absolute God-given. Thank you. When you are self-aware and happy with your body, that never happens. It's usually in hindsight. You usually look back and you're like, oh, I was so fit. But this was like a moment where I was like, good girl. I'm feeling great for whatever reason. And it was a good time.
It's a good time in a woman's life.
It really is. And we should really be celebrating that more, actually. I think there should be more birthdays for that. Like, you know, we just call a party.
Yeah.
Just be like, look, apropos of just...
Happy anniversary to my 10 out of 10 body.
Thank you very much. And I'll probably be naked by the pool.
It's never going to happen again.
It's not going to happen again. This was mine. Yeah. And even after that, and he'd been all about it and like really keen. That was lovely. And we did the thing. And then he did he was one of those boys who afterwards like immediately wants you to die or evaporate. You know, the ones immediately afterwards when they're like, if you could just like drop dead, that would be ideal.
See, I think I'm that boy.
Yeah, my sister reckons when she was single, she reckons she was that.
Even as a couple.
Yeah, he just like, could you just evaporate?
Like, okay, turn away from me.
Yeah, just get out of here.
And sleep.
Yeah.
Like, there's that great scene in Trainwreck.
Yeah.
With the doctor for the first time, and he asks her to sleep over, and she's like, right, I'm going to go now. And he's like, why?
Yeah.
And he wants to cuddle, and she's going, that's too claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I love that.
But I think it is actually, like, I don't want to cuddle in sleep. Imagine, Katie.
God forbid.
Imagine cuddling all the night.
I'm not paying for the queen size bed. I'm not using the whole width of it. Thank you very much.
Stop.
I have changed these sheets today. I'm using all of them.
I tell you, every single fucking inch. So I'm just cuddling to sleep. But I think after I've been butt naked and like intimate, I would just like there to be like a moment of like, gosh, wasn't that nice? And don't I feel lucky?
Just a little tweak of the nose.
Bit of that. Shush, scrub your head. Well done. Good girl. And yeah, he wanted me to evaporate, which is absolutely fine. But did the thing, he was like, no, you can stay if you want. But like, I've just got stuff to do around the house. And, you know, you're like, I'm not going to lie here in your bed.
What, like, get out the bathroom?
I think he wasn't far off. He's like, just wanted to get the skirting board. I was like, are you going to paint your house while I lie naked in your bed?
I split up with the lads once, and it was one I was seeing while I was a single parent, and I think he always had the fear. Yeah, he was scared of going out with a mum.
Oh yeah.
We got on brilliant, and he just bought his own house. And on the Sunday, my son was away. He's on holiday, so I went round and I helped him, and I helped him gloss all his paintwork on his stairs. And he was dead excited to have his own house, so I helped him to gloss all this paintwork. And then on the Monday, he texted me and went, will you be in tonight? And I was like, you never come on a Monday, which is a red flag when you're going out with someone and they only come specific nights of the week.
Specific hours,
like Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
After The Simpsons kind of thing. So I was like, he's coming to finish with me, isn't he? So I was like, oh well, I never thought it'd last. He was always like a little bit terrified.
Had a number after his name.
Single mum.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fair. He wants to get with someone and do everything for the first time with them, and I totally understand that. Like, I want that for him. And he knocked, and he was still covered in paint and all that. And he went, and he just had this like really like hangdog expression, and I went, come in. And I went, it's over, isn't it? And he went, I'm sorry. And I went, I was expecting it, don't worry about it. And he went, why are you being so sound? And I went, we were never going to last. You want this with someone all from the beginning, and I love that for you. This was nice, but it's okay. And he got upset, and I was like, why are you getting up? So you're finishing with me? I mean, the only thing I would say to you is don't ever ask a girl to come and help you gloss your skirting boards the day before you finish with her. Fuck off. What do I look like? A charity? A painting and decorating charity? Fuck off.
It's so good. It's so good because the advice we give boys is always like don't do it like after, like just before her birthday, or like don't wait till after Christmas. Like we're always like with presents and stuff. You're like, he's like, no, I'm gonna get some.
Don't make her do DIY the day before, and then like Don't ask her to do the DIY. Do it before you need the DIY doing.
Were you tempted in that moment be like, right, since you're here, will you just go around and change all the light bulbs real quick? Just 'cause
No, I was going to say, well, I'm going to charge you £25 an hour for the 5 hours I was there yesterday.
Oh my God, bliss. Man, these boy children.
Isn't it?
But I was like, when he was like going off to like, paint his house, whatever he was threatening to do, I was like, I'm just going to go home. Like, and I said to him, I was in a really nice phase of my life. I was like, I was just being really honest and calm and happy. I was like, I'll wake up tomorrow and I won't feel good. Like, I'll wake up tomorrow knowing you don't want me here. And I'll wake up tomorrow feeling like a little bit like, ugh. And I'm going to go home now. But then I drove home being like, oh, he's just fucking one of those, like the Peter Pans yet again. But what I'm worried about is that happens again, but this time because my body's a bit different, I internalize it and I'm like, oh, it's because I'm bigger and it's because he didn't find me sexy and it's because I'm not beautiful and it's because I'm not.
I would say that is a natural thought process, and I can't say that won't go away.
Yeah.
But when you're with someone and it's good and they like you and they fancy you, you won't think about it then.
Yeah.
And it's sad because that means you'll get validation from a man and it'll
no,
be all
I know,
okay.
but it's not. I shouldn't. Yeah. And it shouldn't because.
But we all want to be desired at the end of the day,
right.
And we want to feel desirable. And after you've just had a baby, you do not feel desirable. No. Sorry, ladies, but you don't. And if you do, then I am made up for you. You smug bitch. But you don't.
And it's not even correlative to how you're actually looking, is it? Like, I've had friends who have like fucking snapped back, but it's how they feel about themselves. It's how they feel like what their body's doing, whether they like want someone to touch them like that, whether they want someone. I'm like, that is just, you don't feel it. Do you know, are you an Esther Perel girl? Have we talked about Esther?
Who is Esther Perel?
Esther Perel. She's Belgian. She's just like relationship relationship counsellor. But she's more than that. She's like God.
Okay.
She's like God. She's like Cher with a Belgian accent, but she knows everything about everything. Cher. She's so sexy. She's amazing. She's like, I will say, you'll listen to a couple of episodes of Esther Perel's pod and she, for you, will be up there, like just down from Celine Dion. That's how you'll feel about her.
I'm not sure that's possible, but we'll see.
I'm going to send you some. And she has this thing about like why relationships finish and like the issue with relationships in the fall down. She was saying how the different like libido that men get from this way, and she was like, and when men are like, she doesn't want me to have sex anymore, she doesn't want to have sex anymore, she doesn't want to do it with me anymore, and she's like, are you making her feel wanted? Like, are you making her feel desirable? The key to a woman's libido, to a woman's like is a man. It's in your
brain. It's in the brain,
right? It's like a man weirdly looking at her like she's a fucking piece of meat, like being like, I fuck, like carnal desire, her being looked at like that. You're gonna be sick.
So sorry.
Yeah. And she was like, it does, like, it's remember cute, to
I was busy at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Imagine if we like came and said, how's your day been? She's like, just gonna be giving blowies at lunchtime.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of a store cupboard?
What's the fucking point? Just that. Like, remember to desire your woman.
Yeah.
Like, look at her like a piece of meat.
Don't just walk in the bedroom and go, look at this. Seen this?
Look what I got. My mate said something recently where she was like, I think sometimes men fall for how you make them feel rather than like us. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why when they like run off with like the 21-year-old office, they're like, it's not because of her and how she is.
No,
like,
it's because they feel worshipped.
Right. The king thing.
Yeah.
The king thing. I can't be doing with that. I'm not going to make any man.
If you get with someone who hasn't got that ego.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's an ego. I think
it's insecurity.
Like, it's a need to be needed. And men want to be desired too.
Yes.
You can't take that away from them just the way we do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
If you get with someone who's like at peace with themselves.
Yeah.
And has passed all that and is like, well, I've been desired and I've desired people and now I'm just happy with what I can get. And that's where we fly in, Hat. That's where we take advantage of that gap in the market.
Oh, you feel like you've lowered your expectations enough, right?
We get them while they're vulnerable.
Well, one woman has wanted too much from them. We're like, I literally just need to come out once a week and do my skirting board.
Yes. You look 2 weeks away from a nervous breakdown. Do you want to go to the pictures?
Wife was a bitch, was she? You're gonna love me.
I used to be like, I'm dead sexy now. I'm like, do you want to come for it? I'll make you a roast dinner. Try me roasties. You'll never leave.
My mum has this thing. My mum, exactly what you said. She was like, she has this thing where she goes, darling, men need to be needed. Men need to be needed. They do need to be needed. And I was always like, well, have we got a problem then? Because by virtue of sort of being a single mother, you've sort of established that you don't.
No, I know. But
So it's quite a wild, like, come hither, isn't it? Being like, I need you for nothing. Is that sexy though? Being like, but I like you, so there's no pressure.
I think they want to be wanted just like we do.
Yeah, you're right. It's the wanted, isn't it?
I think when we start needing them, especially I say our generation, I'm a lot older than you.
No, but
when a lad feels like you need him, that's when they go
claustrophobic. But because we do as well. Like, I remember my ex yelling over a bar, like in the pub once. He yelled over people. He was like, am I free next Thursday? And I was like, what? Yeah,
Am I your secretary?
He literally went, I was
Sorry.
like, Bet, yeah. Well, why are you asking? He's like, well, because you're sort of the diary of the relationship. I remember being like, oh, fantastic. I think my clit just fell off. Like, that's so deeply unsexy. I'm the diary of the relationship. Beautiful. That's going to make me get
But
my clothes
that
on.
happens. It's like, have we got shampoo? I'm like, right, just let me get into the psychic plane. Why do you think I know that off the top of my head? Go and have a look. I'm not your butler.
We have shampoo. It's so funny. I love this, like, the things that my mates call me about. Or like, I remember like Han once, and again I talk about Han because she and her fella, like, they're gonna be together forever, I don't worry, so we can joke about it. But like, she called me once, she's like, when I kill him, it'll be because he's texting me what's for dinner. She's like, when I murder him. Like, she was like, don't know, buddy.
Yeah.
What are you making? Like,
Oh, mine is when Mick is texting me.
Yeah.
And I just see the 3 dots for like an hour. I got him a Moonpig cup, and on the side I just put Mick is texting. That'll be when I kill him. And then it'll be like one sentence. It's not even a long text.
He's just watching it like, come on, buddy, you can do it. What do you think he's doing? Do you think he's just being really careful? Do you think he's like whittling down to the most perfect text?
No, he just takes ages to send. God bless him. God bless him.
Do you watch him sometimes, like when you're with him, when texting other people? Do you know why
He does this thing, you know, like when you're texting someone, you go, yeah. You go,
Yeah.
I'm texting. And I'll be like, sorry, I forgot you can't do 2 things at once. Just let me send this text. Like he's sending a telegram to the War Office or something. Chill out. You're arranging paddle. Like, hook up.
That's what I like. Honestly, I mean, I love Mick so much. He gets better every time you tell a story. That's the bit that I think I'm going to have to be really wary of. Is my face? Is the like if I meet someone and shit like that, where I'm just like, I hate you.
Yeah, obviously there's a compromise. When you will meet someone, there will be a compromise, and it's sometimes the compromise is just tolerating a text that takes 45 minutes to come through, and you've just said, shall we get chippy tea tonight, or something along those lines. You're just like, what's taking so long? Is he composing a sonnet? Why?
Oh my god, I'd love it if he started sending you sonnets.
Yeah.
That would be actually quite on brand. I wouldn't put it past him. Like, Mick just takes an absolute, is like, this is Mick's new chapter. It's a sonnet chapter. I'd be like, I believe it and I love it. Is there a moment? The thing I keep thinking about is if I meet someone, hopefully one day I do, there's like, the most obviously important thing is how he is with my kid / if there are others. Was there a moment where, like, because I love these stories, I love hearing them. Like, there are people who, like, when the fella comes in and how the kids react. Like, was there a moment where he met your son and you were like, oh, yes. Or
So,
were you like so sure of
My
Nick
son
before?
was a teenager when I
know, he was
got with
older,
Nick,
yeah.
which is no teenager wants to think about their mum dating.
Sure.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be really careful, and he just wasn't comfortable with the situation. But he's chill, and he was chill about it. And then just after we got together, my son broke his leg, broke his thigh bone playing football, and like he was like Dr. Nucky. He was in plaster from his bum to his like toe for ages, and we couldn't fit him in a car. We couldn't. He had to have a wheelchair. It was just mad, and it was right slap bang in the middle of his GCSEs. Oof. And I had lived in this terraced house with a really high front step.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to get the wheelchair into the house. And the next day he came round with a load of sand and cement and just constructed a ramp in like half a day. And that was when I was like, oh God, that's like one of the most romantic things ever.
Yes.
Because it was something. He was like, how can I make this better for these two people?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just to make my life better, but it was to make both of our lives easier. And that was when I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I could line up a million men in a row and only he would have done that.
That's exactly that. Like
Yeah.
when you said the most romantic thing, that is the most romantic thing.
Yeah. Like romance, people think and you've got Instagram and TikTok, and you get these girls at Christmas going, oh, boy done good, and he's like bought a fucking Michael Kors bag or a tag. And you're just like, one Christmas he bought me a exhaust for my for my Volkswagen Golf because I needed a new exhaust. So I put a picture of it on Instagram going, boy done good, because it was like, he knew I needed an exhaust
because he did.
It's practical. He's a practical guy.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I love being with someone who's like capable.
Yeah.
I think being with someone capable really outweighs being with someone who's
mad
fit.
Grand gestures, who like is like flaky and whatever. Like,
and he's fit, don't get me wrong, he's lovely.
He's
what I mean
gorgeous. Yeah, by the way, gorgeous.
You could go
yeah.
for like the fittest lad in the room, or like an Adonis who all the girls fancy, or you could go with someone who will buy you an exhaust for your Volkswagen Golf. Yeah. We were out on Friday, actually, and some girl come up and asked him if he was married.
Did you shank her?
Oh, God bless him. He was like, no, my girlfriend's over there.
He's the best. And you're the best. And we'll call it there, because I just love finishing on that story.
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
I love you so much. The most in the world.
You too.
Thanks, babe. Bye. Right, my letter this week is... I think in having a baby later than a lot of my mates, most of my mates, there's been a vantage point which has meant I've watched a lot of them go through it. I've watched a lot of their relationships go through it. I've watched a lot of years of it, because, I mean, my goddaughter is 11, the other one's 8. You know, this has been ongoing for over a decade for me. You know, for my when my friends started having children. And I've noticed something, and I'm also coming up to a big birthday next year. And so the breakups are coming in. It's really sad. It's always really sad. But I do now have, I would say, and I know this is now a term that's used a lot, is I have a few friends who I would describe as married single mothers. I know they're married. I was at their weddings. They were lovely, and they definitely are married. But they're doing the amount of parenting I'm doing, for sure. And so I suppose this is just a letter for them. Well, not for them, for their co-pilot. To the sleepy co-pilot. You're tired, I know. And if you're being honest, you're also a little bit bored of the cockpit. When you grew up with dreams of being a pilot, you sort of focused on the skies and the speed and the travel, didn't you? And maybe now you're more aware that flying a plane carries a few more slightly less sexy responsibilities, like pressing buttons and waiting for baggage handlers and circling and circling and circling when there's no way to land. So you're a bit resentful of the cabin fever these days, aren't you? But you do know that you have an excellent co-pilot. And this is the launch point, if you will, for my letter. She's a fabulous co-pilot. She sort of innately knows the right thing to do, and she seems to love the flying. She really does. It's also what she dreamed of doing when she was, It's also what she dreamed of doing as an adult when she was younger, but she maybe was slightly more aware of the unsexy aspects that came along with it because she doesn't seem to complain as much as you'd like to. And the other day she let you have a longer sleep while she flew solo, so maybe actually she's fine doing more. She hasn't said otherwise. Maybe it's important that I just mention something here, something that you may just want to consider even if you don't feel the need to act upon it. Every time you let her do more of the flying while you rest, she respects you a little bit less. Every time you ask if it's okay, if you go chat to the stewards and leave her in the pit, it hits her that you'd rather be somewhere else than with her, speaking to other people who aren't her, hanging out with people who aren't her. And doing so while you know you're leaving her to her own company. She probably won't say anything because she loves flying, and ultimately her main focus is keeping the plane in the air and everyone on it safe and content. But she feels it. And when the plane lands, and the people who have been watching Mrs. Brown's Boys applaud the landing, you'll take your share of the applause, and she won't say anything again. Because, as I've already said, all she cares about is the plane and its passengers, not the accolades. You know, she used to be so excited about the prospect of flying through the skies with you and landing in far-flung destinations where the two of you could explore when you got there. But gradually over time, the cockpit will get quieter. And you'll tell yourself it's because she's become nigh on obsessed with flying rather than talking to you. So you'll rest your eyes again and tell her to wake you up when or if she needs you. And she'll let you sleep longer and longer, not because you deserve it, but because actually she just needs you less and less. She'll still go to these far-flung destinations with you, but they'll become sadder for her because she'll see other piloting teams hanging out and laughing and praising each other behind their backs and saying how lucky they are to fly planes with this person, how much they had each other's backs that time they faced their worst ever turbulence, and how they flew that plane through it until they reached calmer air, and then, and only then, did they hug and acknowledge how scared they'd both been. But neither one left each other's side throughout. It'll be their favourite story. They'll tell it again and again. It will get them through future turbulence too. Her stories like that are dwindling and she knows it. She just believes they'll come back around. She believes it so hard because she has to. She's getting better at flying without you too. Much better. All those hours when you've left her to it because you wanted to walk through the plane or rest your eyes, she's getting more proficient at making decisions and making good ones without even bothering you. You might even think you're paying her respect by telling the other pilots you meet how brilliant she is at piloting, how you can't believe how lucky you are to have found yourself with such a competent and diligent and unwavering co-pilot. Don't fool yourself. You may think you're lifting her up, but everyone in the bar knows what's happening. And her quiet smile with quietly lowered eyes backs that up. They know the only thing keeping her in the air is her love of flying. Careful, because one day she won't even notice that you've slept the whole flight. One day you won't even notice that she hasn't asked you one question. One day after landing, she'll go to her hotel room and she won't meet you in the bar for a drink. One day she may even ask you to go hang out with the stewards because then she can breathe out a little and enjoy the skies and the sunset and the moon and the sunrise in peace. Because solitude is actually nowhere near as demanding as disappointment. However small, however seemingly surmountable, a life of little, tiny, daily disappointments makes her feel so much lonelier than just being alone. She's better than you at piloting now. She doesn't need you in there. So be someone she wants in there before it's too late. Before you forget that the skies and the speed and the travel were a little boy's dream and you're a man now. A grown man co-pilot. The light is blinking. Please return to your seat. The captain may or may not be with you shortly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your flight.